One of the biggest problems with building a WordPress plugin is handling the hosting and the delivery of the plugin. And also then, any updates that happen, you're adding a new feature, you're making improvements, you're fixing a bug. How do you get that out to people that has installed your plugin, that's enabled it on their WordPress site? And that's the first challenge I had to overcome with SuperSub, the WordPress plugin that I'm building and trying to get paying customers for. I'm going to quickly run through how I thought about this and how I'm going to solve it moving forward. Let's do this. The biggest problem with a WordPress plugin for me is the hosting and the running of it. In the past, I did actually try outsourcing the development of a WordPress plugin, and I got a massive quote for the sort of hosting, development, APIs, everything you needed to run the plugin, get it out to the world, keep maintaining it and providing value to the customers. Again, my goal with this plugin is to get that out as quick as possible, not to worry about other things. So I tried to come about it from a different point of view again and see if I could handle the hosting in another way. And I'm just going to quickly show you how I come up with this. So I used a combination of ChatGPT and a product from TypeInMind to give me the best options so I could get up and running as fast as possible, and which solution I've chose, why, and give you a quick run through of how I've started building out, ready to start the coding side of the plugin. Let's go. The biggest problem I see with WordPress plugins is the hosting and getting updates out there, being able to deliver that. So what I did is I went to an AI tool, ChatGPT, which we all know, GPT-4 Turbo, which currently, as you can see, I'm using in the screen. But what I do differently is I don't subscribe to ChatGPT. What I use is this product called TypeInMind. Now, I'm not affiliated with it, but what I've found is a guy on Twitter, great guy, great indie hacker, great builder. He's built his own wrapper for OpenAI's GPT model, so a better version of ChatGPT, the way he markets it, great way of marketing it. And what the cool thing is you don't really need to start asking it to act as a certain way. You've got all these characters, AI characters, that you can start using to get the ideas sorted. So there was one that is, I think it's product manager. So you can sort of tag and organize your chats better. So what I did is I used the product manager persona, started a chat, and then I said to him, hi, I have an idea for a WordPress plugin. I need to spec out how to host the plugin for download and so that users is alerted inside WordPress, that the user can update it if needed. Also, the plugin is behind a tiered paywall with different tiers, so you need to spec out how to implement those as well. You can ask as many questions as needed, which I like to do to ChatGPT because it starts to and throwing a back and forth that you might get better answers from, that you need to spec out the implementation. And then it's given us some great options. So WordPress.org plugins, giving us pros and cons. And one of the things that's kind of put me off was the plugin must be entirely GPL compatible, not suitable for premium plugins, which is a bit weird. Self-hosting, use your website, or you could use a third-party service like Freemius, Code Canyon, Gumroad, and other hosting solutions, payment processors, more tailored for selling digital projects. Cool. And then it's given me a little bit more information about alerts inside WordPress, implementing a tiered paywall, license keys, questions for you, what's your hosting preference. So then it's asked me these questions to answer, so I've gone back and answered them. And it's basically given me sort of two options, Freemius and Code Canyon. So I went through all this sort of information, and what I did is I looked at what Freemius was offering, everything that they were doing in terms of revenue and fee charges. So I thought I'd give it a go. So I signed up for Freemius, and I'm just going to give you a quick run through of what it looks like. So what I've set up is SuperSub, so we already know that. So you've got stores, so that's my business, and then you've got products inside that, which is SuperSub. And I've just gone through and set up sort of the basic information in here, and it's giving me all these options. Does your plugin have an admin menu? Yes. What it's going to be called? And then it gives you sort of an SDK, which is a software development kit, to get up and running. And what I've done is I've kind of specced out the plans. What the great thing about this is you can create your pricing structure, your subscription models, and it'll do it all this for you. And because I've called it Super Sub and I was thinking superhero, kind of thinking like what superhero theme you can come up with, I kind of Googled the sort of different superhero levels that they are. So we've got a Defender, which I believe is like Spider-Man defending his local area. That's the sort of thing. Avenger, so the Avengers is planet defense, which is a Guardian, which is the top tier, is you're defending sort of Guardians of the Galaxy, so you're defending a galaxy. And it allows you to go in, specify the title, it gives you a unique name. You can set a price. So what I'm trying to do something again differently is just give a lifetime tier. Type in Mind, which I've mentioned, that's a lifetime deal. Buy once, you can use it as much as you want. The only thing is you have to use an OpenAI API key, which is then chargeable. But I find it's been cheaper and more of a cost saving for me because I'm only paying for the usage instead of paying $20 a month to OpenAI, I'm only paying them when I use it, and that $79 has been made back tenfold for me. So we're not giving it a trial. You can start putting support information in, but then also you can select what you want for your features, so block features out after expiry, and these are sort of the ones that it's come up with. But if I go back to the plan and then go to Avenger, you can see I'm thinking about the $99 one, and then these are the sort of licenses there. So it gives you a way to come up with a pricing, gives you an SDK to be able to then manage that. You've got the sites, you've got users, you've got marketing things like coupons. But what I love about it is you've got your carts. So it gives you the ability to sort of embed carts on there, payments, licenses, but also deployments, which is the one that the biggest thing for me was add a new version. It's hosted straight away. And every time you then make a change, you just upload a new zip file into here, and the delivery of that update is then taken care of, and also the payments and everything. And you've got your paid, your free, tested up to min version, downloaded all this information that you don't need to worry about. Looking at Freemius to start with, I just found within 5-10 minutes, I'd got everything kind of set up that I wanted in terms of payments and subscriptions, and understood the dashboard itself. The next bit I'm going to talk about Freemius is the thing that I'm not entirely happy with, and it's coming to the sort of payment side of it, which I think is something I feel is a bit misleading in the sort of the website and the pricing model. To start with, they only give you two options of, I think it's PayPal and, is it Payoneer? I'm never sure how to pronounce that. There isn't a bank transfer readily available. I've got a PayPal account, however, the PayPal account is a business account, so it's going to get fees from PayPal, so 3%, 3.4%, whatever it is. I'm not a massive fan of PayPal. I would avoid them like the plague for payment processors. However, this is something that's only available at the minute for me. And also the fee breakdown at the minute is, it says it's 7%, which I was like, for the hosting and taking all the stress away, I was quite willing to pay, but you have to pay 27% on your initial 1,000, 17% on anything up to 5k, and then 7% after that. You've then got a gateway fee of 2.9% of the transaction plus another 30%, and then you've got VAT and tax. So to start out with, you're probably saying 30% of your earnings on that first K, 20% on the next 5k is going to be taken out, which I'll probably come back and talk about that if we get to that. You know, I'm never happy giving money to PayPal, but again, I'm just thinking about it from ease. Is this something that moving forward, I'm not going to need to worry about hosting at all for this plugin and managing the payments? So is 7%, let's round it up to 10%, is 10% of every payment that I'm getting worth it to go forward to pay the hosting costs for the lifetime of that customer? Yes, maybe I am. So I think it's taken away a big headache for me, but there is some expense and some give and take that you're going to have to consider. And I just want to be a bit more open about what Freemius is doing and what I've seen and what I'm thinking about moving forward with it. Overall, I'm really happy using AI to come up with a solution to the problem, then testing it out, and within 5-10 minutes I've probably got the structure of the delivery and the hosting for my WordPress plugin, and even the pricing and the way I'm going to sort of embed that into a website is all done and dusted. I don't need to worry about it again. So it's a massive headache that's gone. Sort of the barrier to entries I've found when coming to build your own WordPress plugin and then trying to get it out there and trying to get people on board and release updates. If you found this useful, I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be sharing more and more videos about my journey with SuperSub. So hit that bell icon and I'll see you on the next video.